In this webinar, we are going to look at the app Explain Everything. You will need your teacher iPad, and you will need to make sure that you have the Explain Everything app installed. Tap on the Explain Everything app. Some housekeeping before we get started. Make sure you tap the three dots at the top. You should see the Sponsored by Eric on the bottom of this menu. If you do not see this, you probably need to delete the Explain Everything app and reinstall it. You may have an old version of the app. To begin, we are going to start off with New Project. You have three options when you start a project: a blank canvas, starting from a template, or importing files. You can do all of these things inside of a blank canvas. So the easiest way to start with Explain Everything is just to start with a blank space. So click on that option. This is your interactive whiteboard. This works a lot like your normal Expo marker board at the front of your classroom. You can use the pen tool here to write your annotations. Tap one time on the pen tool and you will get a menu bar. You have colors listed on the side, and this top circle is the size of the pen that you will be writing in. You may need to tap on the different pen sizes and find the pen tip that's right for you. You change colors by simply selecting the color that you want to use. You also have a highlighter option as well. Click on the highlighter and then you can use it to highlight. It's transparent, so you'll be able to see text through that highlight. You'll also notice you can change the highlighter size as well. If you make a mistake, you can click on the eraser and simply drag your finger across the screen to erase anything on your screen. You may have 1, 2, or 3 different options. It just depends. Try the different options until you find the one that works for you. Again, you have an eraser size here as well. We'll look at the other options in just a moment. Your power button is at the top. This is your insert menu. This allows you to bring files, videos, clip art. You can search for images and even put existing audios inside of your Explain Everything. But we're going to start with the basics. We're going to bring in a slideshow from our Google Drive. Start by clicking on File. This will allow you to access your Google Drive. Click on Google Drive. The first time you click on Google Drive, you will have to authenticate. You can open your Google Drive and search for the documents that you want to use. Find your slideshow and tap on it one time. You will see a square in the right-hand corner. Wait for that square to turn into a check mark. Then you're ready to import your slideshow. Click Import. You can bring all of your slides from your slideshow into your presentation, or you can deselect the slides and then select only the slides you want to work with. The buttons below will tell you how the slides are going to import into your presentation. Click on that drop down. You have to decide if you want this to go in a grid, which means it will put all of these slides on one page in your Explain Everything in a grid format. Stacked, they'll stack on top of each other on one slide. Horizontal, they'll go across the screen on one slide, and vertical, they'll go vertically on one slide. Most often, you're going to want to use the separate slides. Click on Separate Slides to begin, and then click Insert. Notice at the bottom right, I now have 4 slides in my presentation. To view all the slides, click on the 1 through 4 or 1 through 8, depending on how many slides you have. Click on that option and you'll see all of your slides in your presentation. At any point, if you need to delete a slide, use the Edit option. Click on Edit, select the slide you want to delete, and you will be able to delete the slide. Click Done. The Edit option will also let you select slides, and you can duplicate. Click Done. Once your slides are on the screen, you can use the pinch to zoom and pinch to zoom out. If you want your slide on the side so that you can do annotations next to it, you can just pinch to make the slide smaller or larger. Pick up the pen tool, and now you can do the annotations over your slides. You may want to practice this before you begin doing any recording on your Explain Everything. You navigate your slides by using the arrow on the right-hand side. Set up all of your slides the way that you want them before you begin recording. If you want a picture-in-picture option, you can use the video option in your insert menu. This will insert a video camera so that you can record your face while you're explaining the lesson to your students. If you do not have a digital copy of something that you want to share with your students, you can create a blank slide anywhere in your presentation by using the plus button. I can add a brand new slide, or I can also place this on top of a current slide, but I'm going to use a new slide for right now. I'm going to go up to my insert menu, and I'm going to launch my camera. When I launch my camera, it will allow me to take a picture of any document that I have. Once you take your picture, you will get 2 options. I can use the photo or I can retake it. I'm going to click Use Photo, and it's going to give me some edit options here on the side. If I want to crop out some of this image and only use a portion of it, you can use the crop feature. If you need to rotate the image, you can use the 90-degree turn. I'm going to select the crop feature, and I'm going to drag a box around what I want to keep from this page. Once I have what I want, I will click Apply at the top, and then Done. I can now resize this image and place it on my slide. You can do the same thing by pressing Existing Photo or Video. You can insert any kind of screenshots or videos that you have. I'm going to insert a photo from my camera roll. I can resize it, and then I can layer the photo over whatever I have on my slide. So you have 2 options for inserting photos and videos into your Explain Everything. You also have clip art. You also have a browser feature. You also have equations. So there's a couple of other options that you can play with inside of your Explain Everything. We're going to take a look at the browser option. I'm going to create a blank slide. I'm going to hit Insert, and I'm going to insert a browser. This will work really well with the website that Northside has provided for you, so that if you want to navigate the resources and explain that to your student on how they might access it or how they are going to navigate the lesson. I'm just going to type Google into the browser window. This becomes a usable browser for me in my slideshow. In order to activate this browser, you always want to use the pointer finger. This is your mouse button. If you're wanting to drag something around on your screen, or you're wanting to select something on your screen, make sure you always go back to that pointer button. That will help you select things on your page. Once I have my browser active, it will turn purple all the way around it. You'll see there's a purple border. Now I can navigate this browser as I'm recording and show students how they can get to different sites or navigate sites that I want them to go to. Tap off of the browser at any time if you no longer want it to be an active browser. You can also annotate over the browser as well. So I'm going to go ahead and tap to activate it. Then I'm going to grab my pen tool and I can type on top of the browser. At any point, if you want to get rid of the annotations that you have on your screen, again, you can use the eraser tool, but there is an X option on the toolbar. I can select anything on my browser, and once it has a red square around it, it will let me delete it by clicking the X. If I need to delete the browser, I will do the same thing. Click the X, and then I will click on the browser and it will give me the red X. I'm going to navigate back to the screen where I have 2 items. You can delete 2 items at the same time. As long as you have the X selected, I can select the slide and the picture. Notice I have the red boxes around both this image and this image, and I can click X. If I accidentally delete something and I need to get it back, you have your undo button here at the bottom. Click undo. If I need to layer these, maybe I want the slide to be over this picture. You do that with the inspector tool at the bottom. Click on the inspector tool and select the image that you want to edit. I'm going to edit this. You'll notice a purple dotted line goes around the image. Then I will have the option to arrange it. I can send it to the back. I can click on edit and I can duplicate it. I can cut it. I can flip it around. A lot of great options are in here. Or maybe I don't want it to move at all on the screen and I can lock it down so that it doesn't move when I'm trying to annotate over the top of it. But for now, I'm going to click on arrange and I'm going to send it to the back. When I'm done making my adjustments, just click on the pointer tool and that will deselect the inspector tool and take it away. This option, the bullseye, is a great fun way to bring focus to your slides. Click on the pointer tool or the target tool. And if you drag your finger across the screen, what will happen is it will bring up a laser pointer. It will actually also give you a second option when you tap twice. I have several different pointer tools I can use to bring focus to something in my presentation. I can use the little finger pointer tool and I can drag my finger across the screen and tell kids, make sure that you click here or pay particular attention to this. For my Star Wars fans out there, you can bring up the lightsaber. The Shapes tool is also available, but it's probably not used as often. The first option is your basic shapes. You will have a square, a rounded rectangle, a circle, a line, an arrow, and a star. If I want to select the arrow, I just tap once on that first box, tap once again, and then it will bring up my options. I will click on the arrow, and then if I drag out on my slideshow, I can create the arrow. And then of course I can drag it around wherever I want it. To change the colors, you will tap once on the color, tap twice. This will bring up your border color for your shape and your fill color for your shape. So if I want to create a black border filled with yellow, you can change the colors there. Now when I drag and drop out, I will have a yellow arrow with a black outline. A fun way to use the Shapes tool is to create a reveal feature. Click on the shapes, tap on the top shape, and select a box. You may want to change the color. I'm going to use a border color of black, and then I'm going to fill color white. Now I'm going to drag a rectangle out on my Explain Everything screen. Now I've created a reveal. So maybe I want to hide a portion of this screen. As I'm teaching it, then I can remove the shape or move it down. This will also help bring focus to what you're doing in your presentation. When you have your slides set up the way you want it, now is the time that you can start your recording. At the bottom of your screen is the red record button. This is your microphone. The most common mistake is that teachers will tap on that microphone. If it is purple and has a line through it, you have muted your microphone. It will not record your audio. Make sure that the microphone is white before you begin recording. Tap the red record button to begin the recording. You will notice a timer starts here. You have a pause button if you need to pause and make some changes in your presentation. When you're ready to begin recording again, you tap on the record button and it will pick up where you left off. If at any time you need to re-record, you will use the rewind button or simply drag your finger across the timeline, and then you can delete from the beginning. This is if you have a lot of items on your screen and you want to start all the way fresh, okay? Or you can simply tap and hold on the item here in the timeline that you want to get rid of. So if I want to get rid of this piece, I'm going to tap and hold, and I will delete this item. If I had any annotations or anything else, it would stay. Notice I have this right here that is staying on my screen. If I want to get rid of that too, I want to rewind it to the front and I'm going to delete everything, and that will let me start my recording again. You can only do simple edits and Explain Everything. So be prepared and create an outline. Hit the stop button. If I have a long pause and I want to edit that out, you will place the cursor where you want to cut the extra piece out of your timeline. You will see this split option. Click split. Notice it's sliced the timeline option here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap and hold on this piece because I want to delete it. And I'll click delete. Then I can start my recordings again and it'll pick up where I left off. You do not have to stop your recording if you're navigating the slideshow. You can continue to record and then navigate to your next slide, and the recording will continue. When you're done recording, hit the stop button. The basic way to use Explain Everything is to save this as a video file for your students to watch as you go through a lesson. Click on the arrow on the side to share this as a video. You will be using the export feature so that you can save this as a video file to your camera roll. Click on Export and select Video. Even though you will see options for sharing to Google Classroom or sharing to Drive or uploading to YouTube, we find that those options tend to error out, especially if your video is long. Speaking of the length of the video, I would suggest that your video should only be 3 to 5 minutes in length. If your video is longer than that, then I would suggest that you separate the Explain Everything and create 2 separate lessons. Once you are ready to export the whiteboard, click on Save Video. This will send the video to your camera roll. I prefer to upload to my YouTube, so I would open the YouTube app and make sure that I'm signed in. When I'm ready to upload, I will click on the little video icon at the top. My Explain Everything video will be here in the dashboard, and I will click on that, click Next, and I will create the title. Don't worry that you're putting it up on YouTube. The biggest thing you need to remember is that you're going to create a privacy link for unlisted. That means the students have to have the actual link to this video in order to view it on YouTube. It is not a public video, and no one will be able to find it unless they are given the link. Once you have created the title, you can add a description, change the privacy, you can click the upload button, and it will process to your YouTube channel. You will get a link to that video. You can email yourself that link and then post it in Google Classroom. Remember, in Google Classroom, all you have to do is click the Add button, YouTube, and then paste that link in there, and the students will be directed straight to your YouTube channel. The other option that you have is you can directly add it to your Google Classroom or your Google Drive. Click on your Google Drive and you will select Upload and browse for photos and videos. You will have to allow access to your camera roll and then find your videos and then select your video and upload it to Google Drive. If you want to upload your video directly to Google Classroom, you will have to open the Google Classroom app, select the class that you want to upload the video to, click on Classwork at the bottom, and you will find the blue plus button. You can create your assignment, give your assignment a title, all of the same things that you would normally do, provide directions, and then you're going to click on the paperclip. You will pick a photo. Go to Videos and select your video. And it will upload the video directly to your Google Classroom. If you're wanting to post it to multiple classrooms, be sure to click the drop-down arrow and select the classes that you want this video and assignment to be posted in. Make sure you check all the boxes that you want and then click Done. Then click the arrow. At any point, you can come back to Explain Everything, tap on the title at the top, and you can name your project. And then click Quick Save. Click the back button in Projects. This will save a copy of your project on your dashboard. If you need to edit your project at any time, you'll return to Explain Everything and tap once on your project, and it will open it in edit mode, and you can continue working on your project. Click Quick Save, and then return to your dashboard.